So we all.
To those around the world, welcome to the UN, where Dean Smith's 4 foreign-born players make this Tar Heel unit the virtual melting pot of college hoops.
Serge from the Netherlands. Maktar from Dakar, Senegal, and Vasile, born in Bulgaria, lived in France for a lot of his life. And myself, born in Nigeria, and lived in Germany most of my life.
Just like U.S.-born players, the national appeal of Carolina helped attract this group.
In 1992, when I watched, that was my first college game I saw, actually. It was a championship game between Michigan and North Carolina. And my dad, at that time, he really liked Eric Montross, you know. He said, well, I really like this player, you know, and in a couple years, I hope to see you wearing this uniform.
Back home, everybody know about Carolina. I mean, you know, people like Michael Jordan, like Sam Perkins. You know, just growing up, you're watching the Bulls play, you're watching the Lakers play, and, you know, that's kind of like this, you wonder, you know, where those guys went to school. And every time you get the same answer.
North Carolina, that's where, you know, Jordan came from. When I came to New York my freshman year, they were all on TV all the time.
Our teams have been on television, and our teams were attractive to them, and they became Carolina fans, and therefore, when we did contact them, they liked Carolina. We don't go over to recruit outside the United States, although many Division I schools do. But they've all been to prep school in the United States, with the exception of Okalaji.
Henry Grove pointed me out. When he pointed me out to Coach Guthridge and Dean Smith, I was very surprised and also honored that they were actually looking at me.
We check the best student athlete we can find, and if it's from the United States, fine. If he's born somewhere else, that's fine. And if we get another recommendation from Henrik Brodel, then we will probably go check him out and see how good he is.
I guess it's probably like a little coincidence, you know. I don't know, he's probably meant to be like that, you know.
Coincidence or not, this group of 4 nearly equals the number of foreign-born players Dean Smith has had the previous 35 seasons, which includes Roden, Steve Bucknall, and Rick Fox. With this 96-97 unit, they've added a certain spice to the heel.
I think it brings some of the flavor to the team. The Americans just very seldomly play against other basketball style. And the European basketball style is somewhat different in not our rules, but just the way that people play.
I think it's good for the team. I should point this out, to have diversity. I've always believed that. It'd be terrible to have everyone from the same background in building the team.
We always speak on each other. So what we end up doing most of the time, I just start speaking French to Vasco. So we just start talking about Antoine or talking about French. And then they get irritated and they start speaking English. And then, you know, I don't want to start speaking German, and we just everybody just go crazy.
We don't look at each other as a foreigners or anything like that. We just look as a whole big family. We play basketball together.
The All-Berlitz team, their opponents tonight, of course, coming up in a few minutes. UMass, also an international presence with Carmelo Travieso and Edgar Padilla from Puerto Rico. Both of those guards really missing the inside presence of Marcus Camby. The shot's not quite as open, and they're not falling. 36% for Travieso, just 33% from the floor for Padilla. Digger Phelps, by the way, phoning in a scouting report. He says, look for Dean Smith to play a lot of zone, force those guys to knock down the outside shots that have not been falling. That game coming up tonight.